And so, here we are, on board the Archangel. And here's Neo. He's not really looking, is it? He's not really. Old Neo Roanoke. He's not really. Looks like that other guy, doesn't he? And so Muru's here, and they talk about him, and they say that he only woke up when the medical staff changed his clothes. And then he named himself Neo Roanoke of the 88th Independent Mobile Squadron. Which is weird that they would put him in the uniform of the opposite military side, but sure. Yeah, he's a noob type. And so, but Muru says his medical data. Yeah, his Fishikala data, and just all of it. They checked all of it, and he's a 100% match for Mula Flaga. Like 100%. There's no way he's not him. And then Kira says that the storm must have delivered him to us because he was aware of that. So Jamil's like, okay, so who's this Flaga guy then? And Muru tells him how he was a member of the Archangel's crew and he died in the final battle of the previous war 2 years ago. Rough. And Jamil's like, yep, you can see from her face that he was someone important to her. Kigali asks Muru to go back and explain what she meant when she said his physical data matched. He's like, that's... And that's when he opens his eyes and says, why are you referring to me as Lieutenant Commander? You can't demote me just because I'm your prisoner. And then everyone's like, what the? Yeah, and then he's like, what the? And looks at the lady's face and goes, huh? What is it, beautiful? Love at first sight? And so she runs off because he's acting like Mula Flaga. And he's like, wait, did I say something wrong? And then Kira calls him Moo. He goes, Moo. He goes, Moo? Are you talking to me? Moo? Huh? And then Jim was like, this guy, has he lost his memory? And he's like, no. While my past is shrouded in darkness, I am and remain Neo Roanoke of the New Federation. Don't know who this Moo Fraga guy is. And so Kira and Kakai are like, what the hell happened? What could have happened to make him be like this? And then Jimo says, maybe the Federation used their mental manipulation technology to implant these memories into him. What the hell? They cyber new type the dude. They give him the brain wangler. And so the Shin president has to hand it for Durandal for his genius plan of toppling the Federation from within by taking advantage of the bullshit. Wesley figures that the worldwide internet thing proved their undoing, and wouldn't be surprised if the enraged masses led to the quick fragmentation of the Federation. And then they get word that the forces are attacking the capital of Chiram. Yeah, they've all got the little triangle on their heads. Sometimes they point in different directions and they're different colours, but all Chiram guys have a little thing on their head. Yeah, and so, yep, the forces saw the capital retreated, which is understandable, because, you know, everything's fucked. And Zaft revealed their new weapon. And Wesley is just like, yep, we all owe this to Durandal, but the president isn't feeling particularly grateful, considering that they just sat there and watched, because they were pawns in his grand plan. He doesn't have any proof, though, and being openly hostile to the plants would obviously be bad news, considering how righteous they seem now that they're pointing out corruption everywhere. But he orders the ships to return to the capital. The dimensional manipulator is safe, which means they must resume Project D and take the reins of the dimensional repair. And then, incoming unit approaching at high speed. Federation pursuer matches a unit in the Special Forces report, but it doesn't seem to be affiliated with the Federation. That's a come down. This theme song slaps. There's the 10-hour remix. The 10-hour remix of the it's that over and over again. It's even worse than the Shah theme of dun dun dun. The path to Taiji is not for the unworthy. It's gone off the dimensional manipulator. Open fire, protect the device no matter what. Too late. Sorry, yo. And then gives them the slug. The manipulator! No, the project. The world, it's all finished. Excellent. The fabric of the multidimensional world will tremble once again. So you ask him. No, I was too late again. Rand, we're being left behind. Everything will be beyond saving at this rate. What just happened, Star 3? Who was that man? I'm sorry, but I need to go after him. Ask him down. If you want details, you can get them from Rand Travis of Zooth. Wait, I've got more questions. Excuse me. See you, Zetsuko. Nice to see you. So she leaves, and Athena's just like, okay, so who the hell was that Setsuko lady? She led her and Olsen over here, but they don't know anything other than her name. But Olsen's off. Project D's as good as finished with the device destroyed, which means the Chiron Brass is going to turn their sights on the singularities, and he's one of them. He's begun to doubt whether it's actually for the best to capture Kay and play along with that plan, and he wants to see Kay again before making up his mind. And Athena wants to come as well, but he tells her that she's got to stay in Chiron and gather info, both on this Askim guy and the mess that the Federation's going to be in now. And so he starts to fly off, and all she can do is wish him well. And so, in the Bell Forest on the Galia continent, hella riots. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Askim shows up, murders a bunch of dudes that are trying to fix the dimension, and without hitting the brakes, he just keeps on going and just goes chase him, yeah. She's just like, please stop ruining everything, killing people. And he's just like, I'm the Black Stranger. What do you got there, Askim? A sphere. No! And so on. We'll get to the spheres later. But yeah, riots against the Sage Council. It's fucking wild. Everyone's smashing everything up. Fuck the Federation. And Axel Thurston, Renton's granddad, is like, wow. Just torching a company whose CEO got tagged as a member of a collaborator of the Sage Council. He's like, no, you're taking things too far with this. But obviously no one wants to listen to an old man saying, oh, please be civil about this. And they're all fruits of the same rotten tree and need to pay for their crimes. And Axel is just like, oh, I hope Renton hasn't abandoned himself to anger like these people have. And so, at the garage Thurston, here's Dominic watching the place. Axel asked him to, and he doesn't mind having to do it, but he asks how things are looking in town. And he's just like, things are crazy after Dorandale's speech. And he's like, oh yeah, that's just what I thought. This is expected. And he's like, should you really be hanging out here? What, you being a Fedi soldier and stuff? He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go back soon. And then he's like, hey, you wouldn't be one of the Sage Council supporters, would you? And he's like, absolutely not, never. And Axel tells him to relax, because while he may not know anything about Dominic, Renton knows Dominic. Or rather, like, Dominic said he knows Renton. Which means he's welcome in his household for as long as he wants to stay. And Dominic's very thankful for that. And then, here's Hayato. Little potato man Hayato showing up. And he came here while Axel was away and he introduced himself as Hayato Kobayashi. And Axel's like, alright, don't look like you got any mechs that need repairing, so what the hell do you want? And he says he's got a big job for Axel, but before it's ferried over, he wants to chat a bit. And he's like, alright, why'd you bring a job to an old guy like me then? And Dominic says that despite how old this man is, he's still a world-famous mechanic. He's like, that's an odd thing for one of Renton's friends to say. Because he just sees me as this curmudgeonly old fart in a backwater town. And then Dominic and Tony's like, that moron! How does Renton not know how amazing his grandfather is? What the? And then Axel's like, well, he works good work in this world. So invites Hayato in, of Mr. Kobayashi. They have a chat over a cup of tea. And he's like, yeah, good to see that your love of the crafts still lives. He's like, yep, you got to work to put food on the table. A concept that people around the world all seem to be forgetting. There's many other common folk that seem to be losing their will to live and their ability to judge by themselves. And that's what journalist friend Hayato calls lost syndrome. And he's like, what's that? And he's like, so, you know, so many people died in the Break the World thing, and so many people are still in danger of random space-time warps that a lot of people are just extremely traumatized by this, oddly enough. And Axel's like, but you can't give in, because then people will stop thinking for themselves and live out their days as puppets, dancing to someone else's tune. And Hayato's like, yeah, I think that's what's going on, actually. I think that's already happened, my guy. And then Dominic inwardly is like, yeah, Dewey said the fear and anxiety deprive humans of willpower and the ability to think. And everything's happening as he anticipated. The next would be... And then Axel internally is like, I hope that Renton isn't one of those people who've lost purpose in life. I hope my grandson doesn't have the depression. That would be terrible if my grandson had the depression. And so, things aren't looking good for the old men, because Dewey Novak has brought in his troops. And Briar here is pissed that he used Dorndale's speech to strike at them, and his timing's a bit too good to be a spare of the moment thing. He's obviously been planning this thing for a while. Dewey then comes in, big piece of shit that he is, and says this is all because the sages insisted on keeping the truth hidden. Briar says that's just spilling the truth out to the public to see isn't automatically a good thing, and in fact, sometimes it can be the opposite. Kazemi here then says that it was too late. When the Agaha report came in, the population had already grown too large, and there was no way to fit everyone back onto the arcs they used to reach this world before the break. So Dewey pulls out a gun and announces he's going to remove these people from the stage. And that would be a sort of freedom, Kazemi says, from the pain of concealing the truth from the world's people, a burden that Dewey would have to inherit if he kills them. And Dewey just says he's willing to accept that. And he just kills both of them. And now it's up to Sirocco. Coda expected this to happen when they set Dewey free from prison because he's a mad dog. And wants to know what he plans to do now. He's like, what'll I do? Extermination is the only way for us to truly survive. I'll eradicate the Corallians before space-time collapses. And so the Cute class Corallian, which is the big cloud thing. Remember the big cloud thing where we went near it and we all went into like the new type dimension and it sucked? That thing. Is no more than a gate, and soon the antibodies will emerge from it, signaling the beginning of humanity's annihilation. And so, he's going to destroy it before it comes to that, lest our kind and the world face its end. And this will be a battle to decide the rulers of the planet, and Coda says that those without power shouldn't deign speak of rulership. And Dewey says, are you saying I'm powerless? And she just says, it doesn't matter. I pledge my loyalty to you, Dewey Novak. See, she knows what you gotta do. Meanwhile, Jamatov was as blindsided by the others, admitting his biggest mistake was not noticing Paptimus Sirocco's ambition. And Sirocco's like, ambition? No. I merely couldn't entrust the world to a man who cannot see beyond such base emotions. To be fair, if you just listen to Sirocco say literally any word, just any word, you can just get, like, point to a random page of the dictionary. Or even just, like, flick something at him, listen to him make a noise. And you could immediately just go, that's a bad dude. That's a bad dude who's up to something. But Jamatov asks, where's Jibril? And he says that he's already left the area along with Bascom. And he says, it's so wonderful that they, once showed such contempt for each other, have joined forces, no? And Sirocco knows that they'll resist until the very end, driven in their quest for world domination, and they'll strike against any and all sides. And thus we have a loose group of both warmongers and the power-hungry, whose bigger focus will be less on their endgame and more on simply surviving and venting their anger. Perfect patsies. And Jamatov's impressed that Sirocco thought that far ahead. And Sirocco mostly just smirks always, and he says that a new age demands a new genius, and he's got the gun in hand to prove it. The time for these old men is past. And so he kills Jamatov. And here's Copeland, the glorious first president of the New Earth Federation, and without Logos and the Council to support him, it seems it's time for him to retire as well. But Sirocco has one final job for a man of his position: calming the people's fear. Nandato? Naridato? And it's right then. How's everybody doing? And then so on the Archangel, they got this weird cowboy music for some reason. But alright. So in the mess hall, everyone's talking about just the chaos caused by Dorandal's speech, but considering he was willing to sacrifice the Chiram, Sirius is like, oh yeah, this is all part of a grand strategy. He's a proper bastard, isn't he? Jun gives credit, at least, to how well he anticipated so many factors. And of course, the less than moral steps he took to get this far, I mean, that we're not, like, super fond of him. We've been briefed that the Lacus Klein isn't the real one. He's got a body double, and while Sirius can understand a politician wanting a way to express his voice to the masses, creating a doppelganger seems rather excessive. He has no doubt that a schemer of Dornadal's caliber already has his own ideas of what the world should be like. And Kay and Ryoma figure that after Zaf's attempted arrest on us back in Amman, that our group has no place in that man's world. Sara wonders if they're annoyed we went our own way after the whole Japan stuff, and Gainer thinks that Zaf the more afraid of the military threat we pose, and Marion agrees because we're strong as balls, and the fact that we act on our own, unaffiliated to any group, makes us a big nuisance. Gainer is like, yeah, I can't believe they tried to arrest us just for that. After all the times they helped us, if they just asked, well, we would have helped them, right? But now that things have turned sour between the two groups, and we've gained insight to Durandal's plan, Hayato and Sirius know there's no way that we can come to an agreement anymore. And it's a sad state of affairs for everybody, compounded by the fact that our other half is helping them out. The Minerva and the Argama and the King Beale are helping out the bad guys. But that's the path they chose when they got in bed with Zaf, though, isn't it? So Rand wonders what this is going to mean to the Plant Federation war and whether they'll actually continue fighting each other. And Laven thinks that before any war picks back up, there'll be some infighting within the Federation itself. So Mel is like, what's that? What do you think? And so he thinks a wave of chaos is spread through the organization with Dorandal's revelation, as those opposed to the Sage Council try to oust those loyal to them. And he expects a bloody purge to take place, but the Chimera Squad want no part of it, since Edel's policy all along has been to solve things peacefully. And so in the end, Laven fears the odds are good that all that the coup will accomplish is shifting the reins from the council to some other group of nefarious ne'er-do-wells. Rand asks if he's been able to get in touch with Edel yet, but no, despite Shallan's best effort, they've been unable to find anything. And he figures there's a big chance that she's been held somewhere by the Council's opposition for her role as chief of the Federation's supply lines. But Mel's certain that she's okay, wherever she is, and he thanks her for the pep talk. And then word comes in that the Federation are doing their own internet broadcast. Could it be a rebuttal from the Sage Council? And Rand's like, no, I don't think it's gonna. I don't watch that if it is. She's like, hey, stop acting like this don't concern you. You live here, fucker. And he's like, you can call me jaded if you want. That's how I feel. The higher ups don't give a damn about the unwashed masses like us. And Rand is extremely mass and unwashed. And so, here's old Copeland. People of the Earth Sphere, I am the president of the New Earth Federation, Joseph Copeland. As you already heard, Gilbert Durandal has revealed the existence of the New Earth Federation Prime Executive Agency, also known as the Sage Council, to the entire world. I have no excuse to offer. I freely admit that the Council's associates, including myself, manipulated governmental, military and economic affairs for personal gain outside the law. I apologise to each and every one of you for that. The Council's associates and allies are being arrested, sentenced if applicable, and the Federation is undergoing reform. I myself will resign as your president, accept my sentence and make amends however I can. I sincerely plead your forgiveness. Parliament has appointed Fix Bloodman as my replacement on an interim basis. As you'll hear from him, I sincerely hope for peace and a healed government for all of us going forward. Interim President Bloodman, if you would. And here's Fix Bloodman. I don't know. If the president of anything, when I'm stepping down because I'm corrupt, here's this guy who looks like Garlic Jr. from Dragon Ball Z crossed with Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. I would probably go, nah. I think this guy's bad, actually. He looks like he's gone back for more olive one too many times. But anyway, as you've heard, I'm Fix Bloodman. Please accept my deepest apologies on behalf of the Federation Parliament. We'll bring the Sage Council to justice. The attack on the Children was carried out by the Council. The new administration begs the Children's forgiveness and swears to maintain peace between our lands. In fact, we who oppose the Council dispatched an elite independent unit to counteract their strike. Here's the footage of their battle. Basically being called Fix Bloodman, and his name is Bloodman, Bloodman, first name Fix, Fix Bloodman. And look at that, his video shows us branding us as Federation fellas to the entire world, with the Archangel as our flagship. Fucking hell. And so Bloodman adds that both our rescue of Kigali from the political marriage and our attack against the Sage Council forces were commanded by his group in order to strike at the Council. And everybody is like, what the fuck? We never even heard this guy before. This is some baloney. And Kay turns to Kira and goes, did you trick us into helping the Federation shitpiece? And Kira's like, no, of course not. This is the first I've heard of anything like this. And Laven's like, yes, classic information manipulation, using us to recover their goodwill with the people and counter Durandal's speech. Garrett's not happy with this dirty trick, and it seems obvious to old Daisuke here that despite the opposition having taken control from the Council, the essence of the Federation is as rotten as ever. Gain and Gainer here see that these guys just use Durandal's speech as a pretext to remove any obstacles to their ascension to power, and rather than change the world, just served as fuel to expand the hostilities. And so Bloodman vows, in the name of restoring peace and tranquility, that the Federation will fight alien invasions, the plants, and anything else that menaces the people's lives. Obviously, the crowd goes wild. They love it. And he says that he's going to hunt down and rain justice upon the Council's remnants and the Logos faction. Parla and Sarah here are outraged that he's clamouring for justice after using us like that. And Roger's like, I think he might just be a figurehead like the previous president was. Sirius and Gain are like, oh yeah, absolutely. Figuring the hidden mastermind of this whole thing is an owner of intellect and foresight that rivals Durandal to be able to turn this mess around so effectively. And whoever this person is, they're the new de facto leader of the Federation, and Laven fears that Adele may have fallen into this group's hands. And so Bloodman says, my friends, I swear this to you. The New Earth Federation will stand firmly against any and all enemies. The new Federation is the organization that unifies humanity's will under a single umbrella, and the only leadership who can guide this chaotic world down the right path. So Basque is obviously very annoyed that Sirocco totally betrayed him and set them up to be hunted. Gibral can't believe that a small fry like Fix Bloodman got made the interim president. And so Basque tells Jamaican Danigan here that he won't lie down and let Sirocco and Dewey get away with this. Not gonna let them do what they want. And though their faction lost about half their troops in this coup, he's still planning on making them pay, and the first order of business is to get to Heaven's Base in the North Atlantic. And that's where Gibbral's sending all of their friendly forces. They've got an ace in the hole being prepped there, and Gibril is certain that those men who are privy to the truth of this world will be helpful. So, Heaven's Base. And so, the fleet prepared to go, and the Frost Brothers get in touch. Ambassadors heard of these Category F men, agents of the Intelligence Bureau and failed types. Contempt notwithstanding for them, because they're just fucking useless shits as far as he's concerned. Apparently they've got valuable information. Bass figures that they were too slow in jumping on Sirocco's bandwagon looking for someone to take them in. And so with that in mind, he's going to let them meet up with the fleet. Here's Yuna. He was forced to flee for dear life, and he wants to know what he's supposed to do now that the Z Rand family's name has been blacklisted. It's like, the Federation have begun me too. And Gibril just tells him to shut the fuck up. Go home and get Orb's army on standby. And Gibril is adamant that the battle isn't over yet, and he'll need Orb's power if victories to be theirs, and he's going to crush Dewey, Sirocco, and Durandal before all this is done. Pranto no Durandal. And on the Gecko, Holland is very upset with what the Federation have just pulled, and the Hap can't help but be impressed with the level of bullshit they're on. But whatever impetus the anti-Federation sentiment had gained has been removed by getting rid of supposedly all of the bad guys. And so we should size at how easily the people can be manipulated in this unstable world. Just show them an enemy they never even knew they had. And so it looks like the Federation regime has one more trick up its sleeve for situations like this. Stoner says that some kingslaying was necessary for this new leadership to step up, and Holland is like, oh yeah, it's fucking do, ain't it? Kingslaying. Speaking of kingslaying, that guy who's always talking about power of the king, it's him. He thought that Dewey was just playing around by naming his team after Agaha, but there's no doubt he's acting for real this time. And then Gidget says there's some guys approaching on radar. Is it Logos? Pursuers? Aliens? Chirim? Imanians? Siberians? So many enemies, but no idea. They're coming right our way, and Holland tells them to pass it along to everybody else so we can get ready to fight. Scenario 37, Purging Storm. And so, it's snowing out here? That's weird, considering how hot the region is. Hikaru says that these anomalous weather patterns are happening all over the world. Something to do with dimensional instability? Matthew doesn't like the cold very much at all. And he's like, the world's going to hell with the dimensional collapse, look at this! And Bello and Odette both tell him this is nothing compared to Siberia. Gawley tells everyone to quiet down though, because here come the bad guys. Frieden Sarah says that there are troops surrounding the area, like they're trying to corner us. And Shire wonders if it's a trap. But whatever it is, we need to bust on through, says Holland. And Muru tells herself to forget about Mu and focus on the battle. Oh, Muru sucks. And yeah, it's a Federation squad. Royby can't tell whether they're with Logos or they're the new guys. If it's the former, they might be paying us back for stepping on their toes, and if it's the latter, which is a score to settle with them. Gain likes that answer, very simple, straightforward, and the debt figures that whoever they are, they're definitely going to be our enemies. And it's Yazan leading them. He's excited for his first bout with this side of Zuth. And the Frost Brothers are here too. And Shadji tells him to remember their mission, and Yan says he's got to have fun in order to do his work. And Olber isn't impressed. He's like, brother, is this beast of a commander? He's but beast! And Shadji's like, we can just leave it to him while we look for the chance to pull back and head over to our next stage. Garrett sees those two, and Eureka's like, oh, those two guys. Ugh. And then Renton tells them helps calm her down, saying these two snake-like men won't one-up the Nervash. Fellow's impressed, the kid's spirit, and Misha thinks it's almost as though Nervash, Eureka, and Renton are maturing together. And if so, they might have to consider the plan that Jobs and Watts came up with. Yazan has got his two buds, Ramses and Dunkel, and he says, "Time to charge in for the hunt." There's Ramses. And then Holland tells everyone that we need to wrap this up quick before whatever trap's been set gets sprung. You have a good one, Bond Center. It all goes good for you. As good as those things can go. And so, 3 turns clear the map. Oh no, Schoolboy shoot down both Shadja and Oldboy in 3 turns, and they run when they get below 8,000. So it's a breather stage. The bosses aren't like super tough. If you get around how they dodge. The Frost Boys don't have prevail. You can just bonk them. Like, it's fine. They do have a combo attack, but one of them sits back and snipes, and the other one charges in. So probably not going to see it. And so Yazan, Dunkel, and Ramses. Dunkel is Ino and Double Zeta, and Tenchi Muyo. Ramses is Ashtanaj, Beecher, and Yazan is Gates and Beck and everyone. They're just here to support, defend him. They don't have as much health as him. But Yazan is very rude. He's got Prevail level 5, he's got Predict, he's got Morale up on taking damage, he's got Counter, he's very strong. He just doesn't have much HP because he's a little dodgy man. But he's got good stats though. And so, let's get in. Actually didn't go to school because his dad was a lawyer and left his mother, and his mum was like, "I hate educated men." So my son's never going to school again.
君はロジャーの方から外れている。ご退場願う。モビーディックアンカー射出。追い詰められている。このままでは。まだいける。こんな攻撃で私を止められると思わないこと。
That guy. Nice job. they're all in wide formation. So the thing with wide is you take less damage from all and tri attacks, right? But it mostly seems to be that what happens is you just blast them with a million like 3 tri attacks ends up taking them all down. So you either focus on one guy at a time or keep tri attacking so you take down all of them at once. Yeah, unless you're K and then you take reduced damage but you also don't give a hoot. Good and power. You're slow. Going in with the boomerang knife. Nice job, nice job. Yeah, there's some real tight stuff where if you want the secrets and the SR points, you gotta do some sick shit. Yeah, comfort gainer. No, it's the Frost Bros. Double tomahawk, boomerang. Nope, no secrets this stage. Yep, SR point, just blow up the guys and that's it. You know? This is Gatabachi. Thank you, Donya. The Frosted Brothers. 25k, 24k, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Cheetah 8K. Alright, how you doing? No. They each retreat at 8K, I believe. Like separately. Yeah, the big Musashi man, yeah. He's a big strong boy. Right in the neck. That's the other target, right? Bullseyes, throat, eyes, balls. That's how you defend yourself.
先に攻撃させてもらうよ。赤い花を咲かせてあげよう。
Oh, hermit crab.
覚悟するんだな。
Oh, he gives the dive, didn't she? Good for Bella in a matinee. Nice.
俺の目標はあいつね。了解。敵の一角を崩すことができれば。
Nice work, Kira. Didn't even do as much damage as
苦しい
Matthew.
軍人連中が相手か。
He's feeling it. She did.
いただきやったろうじゃん。私だって戦っちゃうよ。
カースパナー。無理だ。勝てるわけがない。
Thunder. Spin salsa. I was like, what the heck? That's a strong move for him to be pulling off. Wonderful. Bum, 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 bada, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Fucking rock'em sock'em. Just didn't do shit. Time for the triple Mega Sonic cannon.
It's not
running. Settle it through one attack. Losing power. Oh, Rumature. Guess what, buddy? Milk shower. Fuck you. Fucking burped on. Urata! That's the Rust Hurricane, but in goo form. Damn, didn't even get through his barrier. Killed the other two fuckers though. Maybe you should have shared your barrier, big man. freeze fee on him? No, 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 it's the melt shower. These fucking guys. The Gablies. I love the Gablies. Okay, well, this dude's getting murked on. By Rand? Yeah, why not? Thank you, Mom. Nice up, by the way.
さて魂に火を入れるぜ。
ダーリンガンレオンに勝利を。
エル、お前の思い受け取った。よいしょ。
こんなことって。
感じろぜ。I feel ya. Gun wheel. Beautiful. Level 6, very nice. Ugh, I'm a frostbite, I'm fucking dying. Oof, oof, oof. Yep, so Shagu's like, you done enough, Oliver? Pull back and go on ahead to Bass's meeting point. So what else? Tells his brother to be careful. Garrett has nothing to say to a Frost brother?
集中させれば
Kidding me? So Jamil does. Jamil has a line where he's like, "Tell me, Frost Brothers, why is the new Federation gathering new types? You waste that question on us. All we need is Tifa Adil. Any other new types are unnecessary. We'll erase you as well and jam you
俺ら兄
in.
弟だけは許せねえんだよこうなったらやるっきゃない そこだ
まさかこれが本気ではないだろうねガロードラン君
Go, Durango.
私のバサーゴの前ではダバも同然だな
Let's got some tricks. He's gonna- yeah, he's gonna get some fucking classic. Sago chest break. That's what the CD stands for.
ほらほらほらはいやすいように
Nice job, Wits. Nice job, hello.
ゲームでなくったって
This ain't just a game.
戦闘に支障が出るほどの
Play these games for sure. Screw crusher punch. Let's have a look at some gap please. Look at these looks. It's the gap police from Zeta. They transfer. This is their like flying around in space really fast form, where they're like a little cicada. And they got their big guy form, but they're a big guy. It's Jared's main ride. It's his final upgrade is into one of them. In this form, got the Fadine rifle, the beam saber, and their mega particle cannon. So their beam weapon is the same as the Zetas, in like it comes out of their big gun. They can do a beam saber out of that and just fight you with their gun. Speedo.
集中攻撃ね。
花道作りといこうか。
Nice shot, mate. Nice shot there. Gotcha. Yeah, mate. Okay, beautiful. Oh, since level 300 there. Beautiful. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna go meet with Bask and Oliver at the meeting point. Tifradil and Zuth. He looks forward to seeing us again. He goes. And then Gary's like, hold up a minute. They pull back. Those two pull back way too easily. Okay, so they only have. So Garrett has a line with Olba that Shaja gets involved in, but so he's like, "Don't you ever learn? You try to take Tifa again?" And they're like, "Ooh, jeez, we're not here for Tifa today, but you are flying the ointment, so piss off." Skill. Rifle. So he's just gonna go rap, rap, rap. Playtime's over.
動きを見切ればどうということはない。
Mech made for aerial combat, huh? Still won't be able to keep up with the Gaplant. We've got the upper hand in raw power, so just have to drop you in one big hit. Little faces.
キはキャンディーでも舐めてろってんだ。おとなしくやられちまいな。
Here he comes. Love you then. Ojiro! Fucking guy. Just having a giggle and then he's gonna blow you up. This is their commander? Bringing it down. You got stones, kid, but you gotta learn your place. Ah, shove it. You better not make light of Z Rand, the blazing mobile suit pilot. It's true, he's the blazing mobile suit pilot.
お前ら軍に好き勝手するってつもりか。
返してやる。ガキが戦場に出てくるもんじゃないぜ。死にな。
Kid soldiers, easy pickings, just die.
本所そこらのモビルスーツ
No one can best King Gainer when it comes to speed. Well, ain't you confident? Cheeky kids like this need a whooping, and I'm happy to deliver. Nice job, Wits. Can't let the big get hit, literally nothing ever. Good up you.
Jamos.
So what does Rand say? Who's the... So Rand versus Yazan is, damn it, quit buzzing around my head. You're pissing me off, guys. Like, shoot me down then. That is, if your slow ass can. It's like calling me out then, huh? Well, those jabs are only firing me up. And Mel just goes, that's not so much you being the heat, more that you're just easy to provoke. What's up, boy? You look like you got a bad case of cold feet. That's gonna leave you all shrunken up. Shrunken up? Where? Don't listen to him! Can't believe Yazan's telling everyone that Reddit's got a little shriveled dick. He's got cold feet. He's
第一は向いてないのよね808って
Jamos.
う力だけを奪うんだ。やるんだ今。
Dunkel. This is like, oh yeah, gotta retreat. Ooh, got a linear seat, very nice. So he's like, dang it, the command just didn't come there against them. He's like, at least Soraka's got a new model for me on the way. So let's have fun with this next time. So pilot's like, that was quick, right? I was expecting a lot more. Maybe they were looking for the Logos fugitives and ran into us? Well, at least it's done. Let's get out of here quick like. Wait, something's coming. Reinforcements? Looks like those other troops are just trying to keep us pinned. Everyone, back to the ship. We need to run. New troops inbound, detecting several battleships. Are those... the Minerva? It's Saft? Ogama and King Bill are there too. No way, are we gonna have to fight? Doesn't look like we can just walk away from this one.